Please tell us about yourself. What are your interests and hobbies?
I have taught mathematics in the combined middle and high school system for 4 years. I establish a daily behavior and routine in my class. We direct every activity, spell out expectation during group and independent assignment, entering and exiting the class, asking for help from teacher or peer. So everything is structured in my class. I build great personal relationship with my students, and most of them are confined in me. They share a lot of their daily lives with me, and sometimes I contact some of their parents to share with them certain things about their kids. Sometimes the kids just want to see me, spend time with me, express how they feel about certain things. I have built bridges between some kids and their parents. For my interests and hobbies, I love watching TV shows like debates. I love educational arguments that are intended to instigate critical thinking.
Are you involved in extracurricular activities that you could coach or supervise?
Yes. I coordinated a club in school called Mental Giants. And the main objective of this club is to train students to use their mental brain to complete arithmetic processes or calculation, rather than always depending on a calculator. I have derived different number pattern or algorithm, and I have taken some from the internet to help students practice addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Students of my club are able to add or subtract large numbers within a few seconds. They have won local district awards twice in mental calculation competition.
Why did you decide to become a teacher for the subject for which you are applying?
I was a very smart kid in school. I was in accelerated classes. I always wanted more academic challenges, and mathematics was one of those subjects where I could find a few of these challenges. So I developed a lot of interest in mathematics. I'm a person who always wants to meet new things. I want to try new challenges, solve new problems, and learn from them.
Are you currently employed as a teacher?
Yes.
How many hours per day do you teach, and how many days per week?
I teach 8 hours per day and 5 times a week.
Describe your teaching experience. What subjects have you taught, and at what grade level?
I have taught mathematics in grade 6 to 12 for 4 years now, teaching algebra in middle and high school, statistics and geometry in high school, and I have also taught physics in high school.
Describe other work experiences you have had besides teaching.
I was part of a team that developed an alphabet in my local language called Bama. I teach this language to children in my community how to speak and read this language. We hold classes every Saturday for 2 hours in a local community hall.
Have you ever worked in the United States?
No.
What do you hope to be doing professionally 5 years from now?
I will still be teaching.
If I were to talk to several of your colleagues, how would they describe your personality?
They would say I am a very organized person. They know I put a lot of time to make things work well in school and in class. They will tell you I am a good team player. I am always willing to assist anyone in any way as far as it is for the good of the kids.
What will your students say about you?
Some of my high school students say I'm their model because I master my math concepts perfectly and present instructions in short and simple things for everybody to understand. They have said that they have learned more math concepts with me better than they have learned anywhere. They will tell you they love to spend time with me. They love my classes because learning is like fun. in which everybody participates.
How do you prepare to teach your lesson?
When planning for a lesson, I first identify the learning goal and write them out in simple terms for my students to understand. I always want my students to know what they are expected to learn at the end of the lesson. So I always ask a student to read out the learning goal loud in class. Then the next thing is, I think of a real life scenario that is connected to the lesson or concept I am to introduce. This can be in the form of a video, a picture, or an audio conversation between two persons. Usually, this helps me to initiate class discussion and introduce the concept perfectly. The next thing is, I assemble the resources needed for the person. I always want my students to work in groups or in station. I get rubric and detailed instruction for any activity. I also make sure that I check if I have enough computers for any online assignment. I pull out worksheet online for independent practice. I always give room for my students to share ideas, speak, or as a class, I then include practice activity to be completed at home.
What will your lesson plans include?
My lesson plans will always include a clearly defined learning goal, a warm-up activity to activate broad knowledge, an introductory activity which can be in the form of a discussion or group activity. Then I dive directly into the teaching, where I give instruction, during which I am either teaching directly or giving instruction or guidelines in the form of group activity. I also include assessment.
Think about a class that you have taught recently. Talk about two of the teaching strategies or methods that you used.
The class was a 9th grade class, algebra class, and I was teaching how to solve linear equation. And the objective of this class was for students to be able to solve linear equation either by setting up a table of values or by substituting other pairs. To be able to begin, I share a daily life scenario with them where I told them, when I bought my car, it had 27,000 miles, and every year I drive 12,000 miles. So I asked them to determine how many miles would be left on the car after the first, second to the 5th year. They were able to represent this information in a chart and came out with a number pattern. I told them a pattern such as this is known as a linear equation. I then defined a linear equation to them as a pattern of numbers that are either increasing or decreasing by the same amount. I then introduced the slope-intercept form of a linear equation y equals to mx plus c, dividing each of the terms where x is an independent variable, y a dependent variable from x, and a the gradient function of the linear equation, b being the y-intercept of that function. I then told them to pair up to create 5 other linear equations, where they did. I then give a series of linear equations to them for them to arrange in the slope-intercept form y equals to mx plus c, determine the gradient and the y-intercept of each linear equation. I then play a short video that explains how to substitute other pairs and how to set up a table of values. I then share the class into 3 groups. Each group had 5 5 different linear equations. The first group was solving using the step-by-step instruction method by setting up a table of values for each linear equation. And the second group was solving by substituting other pairs. And the third group was working on the computer by completing sample of problems. These were my accelerated kits.
If you used technology in your teaching, what methods do you use to grade or evaluate your students' progress?
After school, every day, I spend about 2 hours to grade students' work or to give detailed feedback on their work. I always give them the chance to make up any missing work based on the feedback I provide. I also give a lot of feedback in class during activity, either an independent activity or group activity. I also grade them using weekly quizzes or assignment. I also grade them using any online assignment completed either in class or at home.
If you use technology in your teaching, describe how you use it. Especially discuss your experience using a smartboard and ways that you incorporate it into your lesson.
I have always used 2 online evaluation platforms called Quizzes and Kao. I love Quizzes a lot because each question is sequenced differently for each student, and this does not give room for cheating. Both assessments tools provide immediate feedback. When we use Kao, one student controls the game from the smartboard. We use the smartboard visually for every activity in class. Students use the smartboard oftenly in class. During group assignment, I let some of the students to use the smartboard as their workstation when I do not have enough computers.
If you have students who are noisy or non-attentive, share with us 2 ways you get them to be quiet and concentrate.
I am always working around the class to assist students or to give feedback on their work. So I'm always in close proximity with my students. When the student is noisy, I simply move closer to them, talk something about their work, or praise another student who is not noisy. I reward good behavior in my class often, and this is a good way to make students concentrate so that they can gain a reward at the end of the day or week.
Describe the most difficult problem you have had to deal with as a teacher, and how did you solve this problem?
The problem I had was that of time management. I always planned more than I could teach within a class period and did not know how to transition between one activity and another in a timely manner during instruction. This time, I have a timer that helped me to change from one activity to another. And it is not good for a teacher to give a set of items to students and at the end, he is not able to complete them. So this time, the time allocated for each activity, I stick onto it and I plan just enough to be completed within a class period.
Give one example to show that you are a flexible person and that you can make changes in your teaching and methods if that is necessary.
I always have a positive attitude in everything, and this has helped me to break any barrier in the professional path. For example, during a pre-planning meeting last year, I was assigned to teach Algebra 2. But 2 days before school resumption, we had a new staff who said he's more comfortable with the Algebra 2. So my department chair asked me to take geometry as a flexible teacher with the right attitudes, I remain positive and work hard not to negatively influence my students during the first week of school.
Is there anything you would like to add about your qualifications that we may not be aware of?
No.
Have you spoken to your family about going to the United States to teach? Is there any such as a family member that might object your leaving home? Are you aware that your family members may not join you here until approximately 4 to 6 weeks after your arrival?
Yes, and nobody objects, and I agree.
Do you understand and accept the Franciel A is a 3-year, the thesis is a 3-year program, and after 3 years you must return to your home country. Do you agree to this?
Yes, I understand and agree.